Hopefully I can get the game I was playing, it's just a bad remaster too. That's the worst part of it. They changed the way stuff worked, because used to I would go here and then I go into save games. They also put this stuff here, which kind of sucks, because when you load a save game, it kind of changes it. Alright, so this should be... Alright, Confederacy... Let's go with this one. This should be the one I was playing. Yeah, they removed some music from the game. The models look fucking terrible. Because in San Andreas, they used textures, right, for the faces, like real people's faces, and I guess they don't have the rights to those faces anymore. So then they changed the models, and they look terrible. And then you get less music. It's also like the gameplay is a little different because it's just the Unreal Engine. So they changed engines. They're not even using the Rockstar engine, the Rage engine that they use for Grand Theft Auto 5. They're using Unreal, so it just looks like any other game. Oh shit. Alright, hold on. God damn it. This is the same game, but this was one that I fired up to make sure that, like, the Fog of War was working and stuff. Oh, you know what? I guess we'll just continue it. Fuck it. But, like, check out the new 3D. So, like, when I zoom in... So now we have a 3D battlefield. Now I can actually see the hills and the trees and shit, so that's pretty cool. And then all the troops are all three-dimensional now, too, so if I zoom in, you can kind of see them. A little bit, you know, like the... infantry and the cav and all that. I'm still in positioning phase. What am I doing? It's meeting engagement. Actually, you know what? I think I forced this fight just so I could see if the game still worked the way it works. So we're gonna go try and find the other save. The one that I did on stream. I think it's this one, right? Man, I haven't played it since November? Shit. Right, but I have to make sure, before I do that, that, like, this stuff is on here, which I think is kind of silly they did that, because that means it breaks a lot of the saves. It broke my Union save, sadly. So I'm guessing they used, like, the AI to colorize these photos, because I've noticed that they're showing, like, on YouTube, they have a lot of videos of showing, like, photos from the Napoleonic, well, not Napoleonic era, but, like, Napoleonic soldiers, because the photos were obviously taken, like, in 1850 or 1860, which is why they're old men, but they have them colorized now, too. Now look at this guy over here, like, you could see his face covered in blood and stuff. Like, these... That was the thing, is you'll never see the photos of the battles. You only see the photos of the end result because, you know, like, the shutter speed wasn't that fast. But they would have displays, like in New York and stuff, of, like, faces of the Civil War during the Civil War. So that's how, it was the first time the general public got to see the aftermath. Okay, so, what I believe is going on... I have to retreat the Army of Northern Virginia. I believe I'm already doing that. My next goal is going to be... I captured Washington, but my goal should be to capture this supply depot. For it to capture, right? Oh yeah, they even had to do that. They had to basically stand completely still for like 10 minutes. That's why you'll see pictures where there's stuff that's blurry and stuff, like crowd shots and stuff, like faces are blurry, and everyone's like, oh, there's ghosts. It's not ghosts, it's the shutter speed. So my next goal will be to try and capture this supply depot rather than focus on Washington, D.C. I'm gonna use this army. Magruder, what is this? Hampton Division. What else do I have here? That's it. Oh wait, I have the Army of the Northeast. What are they doing? They're not ready. They're not ready. Who's ever ready first, I'm gonna send out there. Try to make them capitulate. I know what's going on over here. Is this McClellan? Department of Ohio. I believe that's McClellan. I have the Army of Tennessee over here in Nashville. But they're not ready. They need to rest. Being reinforced by McCulloch. I think that's really it. Nothing's really happening in the West. I'm not doing anything yet. Maybe I'll send the Missouri State Guard up here. Now, what I believe, this army strength is, I believe, the one on the left is the max, like the actual army number, and then the one on the right in parentheses is what I can actually field. So in other words, I have a lot of wounded and shit or something, I don't know. Oh no, we're waiting for transfers. Oh, okay, that's what's happening. Okay. Alright, we'll just start the game. I'll speed it up a little bit. Yeah, so last time we won that battle, but I gotta get these guys out of here because their readiness is going down, so they need to resupply. These guys are in the yellow. I think we're building... What are we building here? Oh, that's automatically happening. That's the economy. Well, we got funding policy. Credit rating approved. Okay, we're a triple B. $3,000 men, though. That's not really enough to send up there. Like, how big is the Army of the Potomac? About 32,000. Yeah, we don't want to... You don't want to be outnumbered 10-1. That'd be insane. Alright, they're in the ready. 15,000, though. $14,000. Prep time. Yeah, the dicking around and drilling, because that's what they're doing, is they're drilling and they're waiting for more troops to show up. And of course, resupplies. Only 2,000 in that one. This is the big one, right? Yeah, so we gotta wait for them to be green. Missouri State Guard's up, though. Oh, they're waiting for Cav. So we got the Tonus Brigade, Sujak, and Mad Cobra Brigade coming in. So I don't want to send them out until they're ready. Which, I didn't look. Oh, the Union calls for volunteers. 2-year contracts. Back here. How long is this going to take? 13 days, 22 days, 18 days. So in about a month, they'll get there. That's what Troy Total War adds to the game. Oh, Troy adds stuff? I've heard bad things about Troy, but then again, from what I heard about Troy is they kind of half-assed it. Like, they didn't go full mythological, but they also kind of went sort of realistic, which gets basically just pissed off both camps. It's like, either go full mythological, like give us Gorgons and Minotaurs and shit, or go realistic, like don't half-ass it, and give us like giants. Oh yeah, he's a giant, he's like 7 feet tall. I feel like they just made it for the Epic Game Store exclusivity, because once it hit Steam, it got fucking bombasted with terrible reviews. Also, it's a Saga game, like, Saga is code for shit Total War. Semi and totally mythical. Oh, they did? Then they need to change the way the Minotaurs and shit look. They need to look more... They need to look more like what they do with Warhammer. Like big, ridiculous units. We're gonna go... He's ready. He's got 15,000. The Army of the Potomac somehow outnumbers me. But I'm pretty sure that's the army we beat like 2 times, right? Like, how the fuck did they get that many men? Unless that was another army. Is McDowell? I guess we'll find out. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care if we're outnumbered 2-1. We're capturing this. We got Washington, D.C. We got Baltimore. We just need this. If we get this, we gotta fight this fort, though. That might be a problem. Let's try to get this. They get upgrade instead of straight up hiring the best. Oh, so it's like 3 kingdoms where it's like you can kind of upgrade your units, so you upgrade the general and they get better units. What's going on here? We got Navy shit that I don't really deal with, but I don't think I can take him, right? 2 ships versus 2 ships. 11 guns? How many guns do we have? 12. Well, we technically outnumber them. What are these guys even doing? Is there any kind of naval... No, there's no Union naval thing. Well, there's that, but that's not infantry, so I don't need to care. They get smaller. Oh, I see. So they get less men. Interesting mechanic there. I don't see any... I mean, there's a Union fort over here. But there's no, like, Union, like, land forces as far as I can tell. Wait, what's over here? Okay, that's all Confederate, so we're good on that. How much is the Florida State Militia? I might as well send them over there. A treaty with the Choctaws and Chickasaws. A treaty ready to be ratified. Land never to be sold, huh? Treaty was signed between the Choctaw, Chickasaw, and the Confederate States of America. Yeah, I guess the Native Americans really don't like the federal government, so they would ally with the Confederacy. Let's try to take Fort Pickens. How many people are in Fort Pickens, right? 235, you think? I think they should be able to do it. What else is... It's July, so it's like the middle of the summer. Would always beat a unit of like 180? Ah. It's weird that they make the numbers go down. Right, they're moving out. I think the ship battle started. Yeah, it has. I can't tell who's winning. Okay. It looks like it's pretty equal. It's a little bit on my side. Since these guys really have nothing to do, let's send them up. Kind of guard Washington, huh? The Army of the Shenandoah. We got the Department of Pennsylvania over here at 16,000 men. I could try to take Pittsburgh. It looks undefended. In fact, yeah, let's take Pittsburgh. It has supplies, so if we take Pittsburgh, we can get this ironworks, we can get supply, we can get manufacturing. You always feel a bit bad for the South? Oh, don't. They're slavers. Who cares? Then again, the average Southern soldier did have it pretty bad near the end of the war. They are the underdogs, that is for sure. They do not have the industry, they do not have the manpower. That's why I picked them, because it's like, I find the game a little too easy, so I picked the hardest scenario I could find. Well, actually, it was a way harder scenario. I could play as the Confederacy near the end of the war. That would be, like, super hard. We probably have no, like, ammo, no nothing. Because if I go into, what is it, production or goods and trades, it's a goods and trades, we can see the real life economy that's going on, like with this graph here. Like artillery ammunition, like price of ammunition went up for both sides. Where's the price of gunpowder though, of like just average? Gunpowder, yeah. Wow. Oh shit, somehow the Union is like... They got one hell of a discount on gunpowder. How's cotton looking? Less than 3% of people owned a slave. That's true. It's typical 1%. Like the war was basically a war of economics. So the economics of like, you think about the North had industry and railroads, right? But what happened was when the cotton gin was invented, slavery became like $1 million business. The term millionaire had to be invented. So you had all these like plantation owners that became millionaires overnight. And then you had all these slave traders, like slavery became like a big industry. They were breeding them. There were so many of them. Like in the South, 1 out of 5 people were slaves. Or even, I think it was even more than that. I think the freemen were outnumbered by slaves in the South. And then the North had to deal with that problem of like, we can't have slavery. It completely goes against, number one, it's morally wrong. Number two, it screws over the working man. Because how can anyone that, you know, gets paid a wage compete with slave labor? It's just not going to happen. And so it was becoming very dangerous, so the idea was to contain it. And so Kansas became a free state, and then California became a free state. And then you had these fucking, like, rich assholes in the South that were like, well, we need to make our millions of dollars in our money, so let's secede. And then that's what happened, and then they convinced a bunch of, like, poor white guys to fight their war for them. And what's funny is, like, this stuff still affects America today. Like, there's a huge amount of, Confederate propaganda that exists to this day. Like, did you know, I live in the state of Texas, right? There's a group of people that want to stop the Civil War from being taught in school. Because, and I quote, it makes white kids feel bad. Or they'll get bullied by, the black kids. And it's like, that's a load of bullshit. They just don't want to talk about the American Civil War. And that's why you have the lost cause mythos, right, of the Confederacy, which was kind of came about in the 1920s. Mainly because of the KKK and its influence in certain governments, like in Louisiana and shit. And that's why even to this day, we still have like people who try to get rid of Confederate statues and shit like that on public ground. They get death threats and things like that. You have stuff like that that the government just doesn't want to talk about. It's more of a cover-up, too, because it's like... It's the whole, like, well, if we just forget about what happened, then it wasn't so bad. Like, slavery wasn't so bad. And it's like, nah, I don't know about that, man. Because of some kind of guilt of what happened, like, 300 years ago. Or not well, about 200 years ago. Nope, still 15 days. Put them in concentration camps or what they called residential schools. Ah. So basically, bottom line is everyone in this age was a piece of shit. Going, the Department of Ohio's over there. So yeah, nothing's really going on here. I'm just moving one army over here. I might speed it up. Because I've made my decisions. Really? In the night? Oh my god. So they were like, you're saying they were like taking like Inuits and stuff like that and kind of separating them? Yeah, and they always make some kind of reason or whatever, but it just comes down to pure racism. So what they would sell the average white guy in the South of like why they had to fight for slavery was like, hey, if all the slaves are freed, how are you going to compete with them? Like, you know, as a laborer. And the reality is, we can't compete with them anyways. The reason why there are a lot of poor whites in the South is no one's going to hire a worker when they can buy a slave. And think about like what it's like to be a slave. As a slave, you have no motivation in your life. Like all you're motivated is to not get punished. So you would do just the amount of work required to not get punished. You wouldn't work any harder because there's no motivation of being a hard worker or being a good worker. What you really wanted to do was just make sure that you didn't get hurt during the day. But honestly, if slavery, and the other thing that the Southern narrative tries to give is like, oh, they would have gotten rid of slavery anyways. And it's like, no, they wouldn't, because slavery was millions of dollars. There was a lot of money in slaves. Anyone that knows anything about history or how people operate, if there's a lot of money in something, even if it's immoral, people will still do it. So had the Confederacy won, slavery would have still been a thing. In fact, it would have been worse. And then I believe the Confederacy would have splintered into multiple other countries. Like, I'm pretty sure Texas would have declared its independence from the Confederacy. It was only part of the Confederacy to declare its independence from the Federals anyways. Because when people think about slaves, they think about it's like, oh, it's like one or two house slaves. It's like, no, they were like cattle. There were like hundreds, thousands of slaves on the field. The slaves never even saw their masters. They had overseers that handled it for them. They would never even know who owned them. They never saw the families that owned them. It's not like how it is in like Gone with the Wind or some shit. That's, you know, it's more like they lived in these shit little like buildings that were kind of built just to house as many people as possible, like chicken coops and stuff like that, right? And they would work them all the time. That's the other thing about the Confederacy. The Confederacy couldn't use its full manpower because it needed manpower back at home in case there was a slave revolt. Hell, I went to college and I studied the American Civil War, and even in college, they would try to sell me on that, like, the Confederacy, it wasn't about slavery. But it's like, that's a load of bullshit. It's always about slavery. To not think that slavery is the cause of the Civil War, you'd have to be crazy. You'd have to really do some mental gymnastics to be like, oh, it's about states' rights and independent freedom, all that shit. And it's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's about your states' rights to own slaves. Like, you can pussyfoot around the issue, but it's about that. And like, you know, the South liked to play the victim, like, oh, we had this Reconstruction period and shit, and all this stuff, and it was so bad. And it's like, yeah, it was bad for all the rich white people that made a bunch of money off the backs of slaves. Alright, hopefully they capture this. Because there's that famous film, right? What's it called? Birth of a Nation? It's that black and white film that like almost every film student has to watch, similar to like if you have to watch the Nazi propaganda film for the Olympics because of how great the cinematography is. And in Birth of a Nation, the plot is like a bunch of like colored Union soldiers are basically ransacking a town and raping the women and all that shit. Something that never fucking happened or did not happen in that extent. And then the KKK rides in like a bunch of heroes saving the South. But that's all just Confederate propaganda. Because I believe Woodrow Wilson was a white supremacist. So that's why shit like that started to happen in the 1920s. See, normally I don't talk politics and shit, but it's like if I'm playing an American Civil War game or Deus Ex, it's like I kind of have to, you know, it's sort of part of the flavor of the game. That's the thing. It's like that's what bothers me the most because I live in the South, right? They're like the high school student that has the Confederate flag on their pickup truck and shit, or the guy that puts the Confederate flag on their truck and like go like, oh, you know, heritage. Those people are harmless. You know, they don't know any better. They're just ignorant of the situation. The ones that I worry about are the ones that do that, but they know the history, and they quote shit like Bedford Forrest and stuff. Those are the ones you have to watch out for. Those are the ones that go out in the woods and play militia. But in reality, it's like, if anything, you should be mad at the Confederacy. They lied to you. They made your grandpappy fight a war that, quite honestly, was an unjust war. Alright, where is this battle? Army of Shenandoah. I think we're fighting... And that's what scares me when I hear talk about, like, secession or independence every now and then. And I'm just like, really? We're gonna go back to this? It's like people who don't really understand what happened and just how many people died. Like, not just the soldiers, but just, like, just in general during the war. It really is. It's also like, you know, even Robert E. Lee, the Confederate commander, Supreme Commander, was like, you know what, just don't idolize us, don't try to remember us. He didn't want Confederate statues. He didn't want the Confederacy to be remembered like it is, like it kind of is, or hoisted up. If anything, he just wanted the country to heal. Like most people. That's why when the war ended, the Confederates, like, the officers, they weren't executed for treason. You know, like, a lot of people got to go back home. A lot of people, they just got dishonorably discharged because it was agreed that it's like, look, the war is over. Let's just let it go, you know? But then you had some people like Bedford Forrest that wanted to continue the war, and that's how the KKK got started. And from all accounts that I hear about Bedford Forrest, he was pretty bloodthirsty. He really wanted to kill as many people as possible. I think he has over 100 kills. Personal saber kills as a cavalryman. Alright, so it looks like the Battle of Pittsburgh attacked the enemy, so we're on the offense. What's up, Besson? How you doing? Where are the objectives, though? Soggy Bottom Heights, so we gotta fight there. We gotta fight at Red Hills. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. If I have to fight there... if the AI is smart, it would put cannon on this hill and make this almost impossible for me to do. Taking notes for history class. And then, oh, I could go here. How many points is this worth? I can barely see it. Is that 5? I think it's 5. They're both worth 5 points, so I guess I should take them both. Yeah, well, usually the people who want war are the people that aren't going to fight it. And the people that, like, and it happens, you know, usually after every war, it's like, oh, we could have won that war. You know, that's what happened in World War II, right? The Germans were like, hey, we could have won World War I. And everyone's like, yeah, we didn't lose World War I, we could have won. And then, you know, it's that kind of shit that gets that stuff going again. And it's like, no, you know, like just let it go. It's over. It's fucking over. How am I gonna do this? Alright, so I gotta try and organize here. Before it was rich people fighting, that's true, but even then they had a peasant class. And also the knights probably rode in near the end of the battle anyways. I mean, upper class people still fighting wars, they're just officers and generals. But that's the aristocracy, like in Napoleonic times. That's why Wellington hated his soldiers. He thought they were scum. He's like, they're the scum of the earth. Because who the fuck would join the army? Other than thieves and brigands and shit like that. He had a very low opinion about the average soldier, but that was because Wellington's kind of a dick. Well, now we have proxy wars, which is a whole nother thing. That I'll save for when I play Metal Gear. Alright, this is my artillery, we'll put them there. I got Cav. So, okay, so I have a Cav division and infantry division. We're gonna do the infantry division. Infantry division's led by Frost. I'm gonna send them up first. And then I might divert the Cav, depending on where where the AI is defending, I'll send the cav to the other point. Like, so if the AI is defending here, I'll send the cav here. If I was the AI, I would defend Pepper's Mill. I would have a small contingent here, and then I'd have a bunch of artillery on this hill. But that's if I was the AI. I don't know what the AI is planning. But let's start the battle. What is it? Oh shit, the battle's probably gonna end soon too, because it's like... Fuck, it's like what, like... Man, I'm too tired to do math. Gotta drive to your family soon? Alright. You have happy holidays, Besson. Merry Christmas to everyone. If you don't celebrate Christmas, then happy holidays. Goodwill to all. Like, weirdly enough, I'm playing war games. Let's send them up there. Johnston, he'll wait there. Braxton Bragg's my cavalry officer. Should I split my forces? I don't need to until about here. Yeah, as long as they're not here, we can make it up here, control this road, and then split my forces to get the next point. If need be. You know, I do kind of wish there was music during the battles. Another one did the same thing. That's true. It's usually a numbers game too, but then the more numbers, the harder it is to feed and move. So it's like, it depends on your strategy as a general. Do you want like a bunch of really well-trained, really well-equipped soldiers, which don't require as much food as a bunch of shitty peasants? But then again, those soldiers probably cost more money to field because they need armor, they need shields, they need swords. Peasants, you don't give them armor or anything, you just give them like a spear. It's the economics of war. I'm gonna speed it up. But, like, I mean, I guess my strategy would be, like, you would send in the crap units first, right? The trash units to weaken them up, and then send in your good units. Like, your expensive units. So, in medieval kind of warfare, you send the peasants in first. They kind of soften the enemy up. Then you send in the knights and the horsemen and shit like that. Oh, shit. Alright, well, it looks like the AI did something that I would do. It blocked this area. And it fortified, too. Look, it's got cannon up here, and it's got a fortification. That's exactly what I would have did. That's impressive. I like that. That means I can either try to go through here to flank. That's it. That's the only other crossing. The rest is a fucking river. Yep. So I gotta send my cav over here, and we're gonna try to flank. I'm gonna hold my artillery here, we're gonna arty duel them. Though the day might end soon, so I'll switch it all out. Yeah, it's just like any kind of thing in real life, right? Your status is what makes you in society, and same thing with the army or the war, you know, it's like, you're upper class, you're officer class, you get to, like, hang back, you know, it's all the other guys, they get to fight. Oh, the Total War games are better with their AI tactics? You know, I have seen a little bit of better AI in Three Kingdoms. Though it's hard to say because it's melee combat, and melee combat's pretty easy for the AI to do. It's like those old electric football games, you know, it kind of just has its units and they just kind of bash into your units. The Total War AI was never good at gunpowder, that's for sure. This game, however, this game, like, the way they program the AI is more than competent. He's got his units all lined up here. We got a traffic jam going on over here, though. Some of my artillery's taking the woods. We really got to fix some of this pathfinding. Are they already lying down? I can't tell. Oh, you hate it? Yeah, like in Rome, you could just get your general behind their army and then like just charge them and they would break. Okay, they're lying down, so they're in cover. Also, it's dark. I don't think the artillery's gonna hit us that hard. The day's battle's gonna end, and when that happens, I'll reposition. I'll reposition artillery over here. We'll hold them. And then I'll take cavalry, and I'm pretty sure that's the whole army that I'm fighting right there. So I'll take cavalry. I'll send one cavalry unit to get the point. Where's the point? Right over here. How would they do that, though? They'd have to go from here. So one cavalry brigade will go up here. They'll make it there. Then the rest of the cavalry will go into a flanking formation, and as soon as they hit the flank, that's when I'll send my infantry up, and we'll try to push through here. This little fucking choke point that we're gonna have to deal with. The other problem with the AI, especially like Napoleon and Empire, it always sends its cavalry ahead of its infantry, and it just gets slaughtered. Alright, we're moved in position. So, yeah, I modded this game to have more units per brigade. Because before, I think the ratio was... For every 20 guys, you'd get one soldier. Now I think it's for every 10 guys. I don't know, but I feel like this is more like equivalent to the size of like 2,000 men. Is a line this big, so. And then I made the units a little bit smaller because they were a little too big. Like, I believe their unit size was 5. I changed it to 4. So that's why my artillery and my infantry are like bigger brigades than you'd normally see from an unmodded version of this game. Because normally artillery would only show 4 cannons. But I was like, well, fuck that. Like, why don't we show, like, a ratio of cannons? And now we do. See now how this artillery unit has... we could see, like, about 7 cannons. Oh, he disappeared. Is the AI repositioning? Wonder why it's doing that. It's got a good position. It's just abandoning its defenses. Or either that, it's gonna go over to the hill, which is the other place I would have defended, was here. Books because cavalry was what you had. Yeah, well, Napoleon would run his cavalry, like, he would exhaust his cavalry. He did that in, there were 2 times Napoleon almost lost and his cavalry saved him. I think one time was in Moscow. See, now, you would think that the best plan would be to defend here, but no, the AI is doing exactly what you should do. Instead of defending here, it's going back and defending the opening so that you have to go through the choke point first. Because if it defended here, then I could engage it like as a line. But if it goes back here, I have to cross to engage, and if I do that, then they can shoot at me from all angles. I'm completely bottlenecked. End of the day, there we go. Alright, okay. It looks like the AI kind of redeployed, but not really. It kind of stayed in the same sort of area that it once was. Alright, let me try to organize here. So where's my cav? My cav's over here. This Bragg is the cav commander, so he's gonna go over here. Then we're going to try and send him around to do the flanking maneuver. As for my artillery, let's organize them first. That's another thing they need to fix, see, because I wanted to move just the commander, but for whatever reason, I can only make him move there. I can't, like, just move him and place him. Not the biggest problem, but it's like, that needs to get worked on. You think I could hit him from here, right? No, of course not. There's like a small, stupid little hill. There's always a small, stupid little hill that stops me from hitting him. Alright, there we go. That's better. Got all these 12-pounders and 6-pounders up here. Put them over here in the bank. I could get some cover. This is a howitzer, so it can like shoot over my guys. I can put them over here. That's kind of it on that. All right, that's the plan. I positioned right over here. Okay, so battle's gonna start. Got some cannons going. Cavalry shall flank over here. See if I can move my artillery up to cover. Because this riverbank will give them some cover. There goes the little horse. I really like the new 3D models, I gotta say. Like, it's not just the troops, they also did, like, you know, the stone fence is 3D now. Like, a lot of the stuff is more, like, noticeable. I'm gonna speed it up. It's gonna take a while for me to do the flank. Scourge of War Waterloo. Yeah, that one has a pretty decent dynamic campaign. That's the sequel to Scourge of War Gettysburg, which this game reminds me a lot of. The same kind of command structure, you know, you make a command and then a little horse comes out of your commander and it goes to wherever your units are and then they move. What the hell is that artillery guy doing? Okay, he looks like he's in position now. But I do believe, like, just like Scourge of War, Gettysburg, the maximum, like, sprites you can have is 200 per regiment or brigade. One day we'll get to the point where we can actually do these kind of battles at the proper scale, but we're not there yet. That's gonna be interesting when we have processors and so much memory that we can have like 50,000 like individual units shooting at each other. They're still moving out. Yeah, I haven't heard back from anyone. You know, I guess I might have to go ask the neighbors to see if I can get a ride from them. So I can go to work tonight. That sucks. Maybe I'll ask my mechanic if I can borrow one of his cars or something too. I don't know. Because I looked into renting a car, but renting a car is going to cost like 50 or 60 bucks, and that's like, well, that's kind of pointless because, you know, that's basically like half my day's pay right there just to go to work. I guess I could do an Uber, but I'm also worried that an Uber would cost like 30 or 40 bucks as well, which is like, that's basically like 3 or 4 hours that I you know, of my pay. I'm only getting like maybe actually paid for like, you know, 4 hours or 5 hours of work, even though I'm there for like 10 hours, so that sucks. So I don't know. Is that even worth it? I don't think it is. Oh well, if I don't go to work tonight, I'm gonna work on some guitar stuff for YouTube. I'm gonna try that Trans-Siberian Orchestra stuff, and hopefully post that. Not only, at least I'm still productive in some way, and I'm not just like doing nothing. All right, they're still moving. I'm gonna speed it up because it's just gonna. I'm not gonna move until that cavalry gets to in position. We're just gonna have this artillery duel going on. Because what time is it? It's 5 in the morning. It's gonna be 6 in the morning. There we go. It's 6 in the morning now. I have a feeling my cavalry is gonna get in position at about 8 o'clock. Yeah, they're going over here at Shepherd, so they'll get there at about 8 o'clock. And then I'll send a brigade. Or fuck it, we might need the whole cav. And I like the graphic engine here. Like, look at the light as the sun comes up. Got the god rays and shit from the mountain. Now accuracy is gonna go up because now they can see. Oh, you can hear the glass breaking in the building. They're taking cover down here. They got a whole brigade over here to defend the flank. Give them a hard pounding. We're blowing the shit out of this mill, though. It's going down. And are they in position yet? Almost in position. I might as well send them the order. We might as well begin the attack and try to flank them from this position with cav. How tired is the cav? Well rested. Okay, there's Jeb Stewart. They have horse artillery too, so they also have some big guns. But it looks like their status... Yeah, they're rested. Their fatigue is rested, so they should be good. I'm gonna send them out first, then we're gonna start sending some infantry up. Because what I want the AI to do is I want it to reposition. Like, ideally it has to break somewhere. Like, either A, it has to break and reinforce here, which means my cavalry should be able to push forward, or it has to, like, reposition here, which means my infantry can move forward. Alright, I gotta order these guys to move out first, because it's gonna take a while for them to get their orders. And as soon as I see them moving, I'm gonna order the infantry. Got muskets. Jackson, he's got Mississippi rifles, so that's pretty good. That's like one of the best rifles in the war. It's got like 5 times the accuracy of the Springfield rifle. What do we got here? We got mixed cav weapons? Nope. Springfield musketoon, that's better than nothing. We don't really have the best shit for cav, but you know, that's fine. Then again, I think the best gun is the Sharps rifle, because that's a breech loader. So you could shoot 9 shots a minute, and you can reload it while ducking. The same way as you can reload it while standing. Did that tree catch on fire? It did. Wow, that's a neat little... That's new. Though it kind of glitches a little bit when I move up to it. And have they moved out yet? Nah, they're still there. We'll wait for them. We'll keep this artillery duel going on. Looks like one of my guys ran away. They broke. They're not taking too many losses over here, though. But they are taking losses. I might lose this battle. I might have overestimated my ability to fight this AI. I mean, I am outnumbered 2-1 too, so that was kind of bad. I'm getting kind of cocky. And I'm like, oh, this isn't Total War. I can't just beat armies that are 4 times my size easily. They still haven't moved out. Where the fuck is their... Did they even get the order? I think that's the courier giving the orders. He needs to get off-road, though. He needs to tell this guy. Where's he going? Going over here? The fuck? Alright, it looks like he's going over here. Okay, now they're moving. That's weird. Why did he go there? Why not go to the officer? Or maybe that was the officer's courier. Who knows? Who knows? They're starting to move out, so let's move out. Oh, speaking of which, let's get this guy over here. Where his men are. And let's cross. Speeding it up. They're moving in. Alright, so ideally I want to engage them using the cover of the creek, but we need, like, the most long-range rifles, which would be, Jackson's brigade. Even though he disobeys orders sometimes, I really have to promote the guy, but I can put him over here. And he's got Springfield musket. I don't think we have many rifles. Yeah, we got jack shit. Okay, cool. Alright, 2 brigades will try to fight him. They'll give him some shots, and then maybe we can do a bayonet charge. They're almost in position here. Yeah, they're crossing the river. Speed that up. Is Jackson disobeying orders again? Okay, no, he's getting his guys in position. Oh, they're almost in position. They're not getting the defense bonus though, because they stopped short of where I want them to be. Okay, now they got the defense position. All right, cool. They are getting flanked though, so I'll send this Withers Brigade over there. These guys are out in the open. They have no defense, so if I can get these guys movement double time. Okay, so it looks like this is starting to happen. Gotta dismount my cav. Kinda get him on the flank here. And with any luck, we can take out that position and capture some artillery. God, I wish the AI would fucking obey my orders instead of just like... Even when I turn off the, what's it called? The commander initiative, it still doesn't, like, you know, they still kind of not do what I want them to do. I mean, this I understand, because he's, like, he's feuding, so he's got, like... So he doesn't want to obey my orders. I understand that, but it's like, sometimes it's like they engage when there's cover right in front of them, and they should just go take cover before they engage. Like, it's better that they run to cover before they start firing. No, he's not moving, is he? Alright, fine. Cap's coming. I thought I told you to dismount. What the fuck are you doing? Yes, be on your horse so when the cannon really blow us away. There you go. Problem with Cav is they have short-range weapons. And unless they have, like, you know, carbines or something like that, like repeater rifles, they're not that effective. Though I'm keeping this Cav mounted because I might bring him in. Then again, it's only 400 men. Because I might have them flank over here. Alright, they're doing their thing. Looks like, they popped their head out, but are they gonna move? They repositioned their line over here, though. You know what? Get back on your horses and charge these guys. Fuck it. If you're that close, you might as well charge them. Come on, don't break. Don't break, just make contact. You make contact, you'll get them. Oh, they got infantry shooting. Come on, make contact. There they go. They broke immediately. Fuck me. Ugh. And Jackson's just hanging out over there. He's not even gonna move up. To be fair, I'm fucked. I'm fucked because I had to attack. It's kind of random, like, when you have to attack or defend. Like, I was hoping I'd defend, being that I had less people, but... And you would think it would be like, well, you know, like... It's dependent on if you are in enemy territory or not, but not really. It just seems kind of random. I don't know what causes... What army has to attack and what army has to defend in a battle. I assume maybe it's, like, based on the general skill. The horse artillery up. And I guess we'll cross. Walker will cross. Alright, Jeb Stewart, he was able to, like, make contact with the artillery. It looks like he broke their artillery. Good, okay. And they're repositioning this line, which means that these guys can flank. Why are they breaking, though? Like how these guys are trying to run across the river. Where's their HQ? This is the artillery HQ. Where's the infantry HQ? Ross, there he is. Okay. Let's send him up here with his men. Looks like the cavalry flank is not really working. What's up, gang? How you doing? Oh, the Twitch ads? I'm sorry about that. You probably can't hear me. Oh, hopefully you're out of the ads now. I don't know. What's he doing? Oh, they're running right up. Oh, what's up, Gingivitis? How you doing? Hey, did you change your name? Or is that what it is? Look at these guys. Come on, fucking hit him. Oh, attempt name change? Alright. Okay, now he's repositioning there. How good is your melee? Your melee is good. Get him. Get him! Yeah, there they go. Alright, how's this flank doing? Shit, it's doing shit. You know what? I do believe I might have lost this battle. I do believe. Oh, they broke! Both of them broke, though. It looks like the Union and... Yeah. Okay. Oh, you can mirror the what's it called? The emote? That's interesting. And my artillery made it right there. I try to cross the river? Yeah, maybe, yeah, cross the river, go for it. Welcome to the Ultra Zone. It sounds like a bad, what's it called? You know, 90s ad? Like, you remember that, what was that piece of crap that Tiger Electronics had, the R-Zone? You know, that Virtual Boy ripoff that was like just a little thing that you put over your left eye? Welcome to the R-Zone. You had that one, like, 90s kid playing it, like, acting like it was really fun, and it's like, no, that's crap. That's total crap. Are you mad enough for the R-Zone? I miss those 90s ads. You remember, 90s advertisements was basically like, what are you, a pussy? Play this game. What's wrong with you? That's every 90s ad was like a challenge. It was like, hey, you want to be cool? You fucking buy a 3DO. You play with that Super Nintendo and that Genesis? Those are baby toys. They belong in the baby toy bin. Right, the right flanks, I mean, they got one brigade holding the right flank, and they're getting hit by my artillery. Hopefully that, I mean, it's only 5 guns, but that's enough to really hit. And then we got 1,000 cavalrymen. Yeah, they're breaking. They're not gonna, they don't want to deal with this. Yep, they broke. That leaves 1 artillery left. We might win that right flank. Holy shit, they have another fucking line of defense. Damn. They created the sin that is furry. Alright, hold on. There we go. Why are you playing those wiener systems? Why not play the Mercedes of video games, Neo Geo? 4 red buttons and 1 joystick. And Neo Geo, to have a Neo Geo, even today, it would be the most expensive fucking thing. Tiger never made anything good. You know what? I have the Gamecom. I actually have it. Why do I have it? I don't fucking know. Man, the Saturn's where it's at. The Saturn has that bald lady and that one muscly dude, and they're all like, do you understand what the Sega Saturn can do for humanity? You know, where they're like really, really like into the Sega Saturn. There's that one Sega Saturn where you have to control that Sega Saturn ad where they're like, can you control your sphincter with how exciting the Sega Saturn is? Like, I guess, I don't know. It's like, it's so fucking exciting you will lose control of your bowels. Sega Saturn, the revolution is here. And there's that Sega CD commercial. It's like, what are you still doing not playing the Sega CD? You have seen the games, right? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Show them the games. And it would just be fucking Night Trap. Like, wasn't that cool? That was a chick singing into a fucking tennis racket. You know you want to play that game. That guy at the end's like, Sega! And the other one I always loved too was like, remember the Jaguar commercials and how condescending that shit was? It'd be that fucking like librarian teacher, and she'd be like, the Super Nintendo is 16-bit, Genesis is 16-bit, the Atari Jaguar is 64-bit. Need I say more? And it's like, do the math. It's like, fuck. I better go out and buy your bloated, expensive shit system then that doesn't even do 3D graphics well. Fuck me. So I can play shit like Bubsy. I think that's the reason why I don't buy into fucking game commercials today. I'm like, you know what? I grew up in the era of really shitty false advertising. But it would always be some dude in a leather jacket with like shades, and they would just come out and shame you for not having the latest console or whatever. You have seen the games, right? Remember PlayStation's ad campaign? PlayStation's ad campaign was, "You are not ready." What's even more fucked up is there's a PlayStation ad with Mystery Science Theater. There was a whole PlayStation Underground disc that had the Mystery Science Theater guys in it. So you have like Tom Servo and shit. I think it was the Mike era too. Yeah, some Morpheus type, like, you want to take the red pill? And that was before the Matrix was even a thing. It was like the Matrix was like, hey, the Wachowski brothers at the time are like, man, these Sega commercials, we should make a whole fucking movie about it. Yeah, let's also rip off Dark City while we're at it. Yeah, we can do both. 989 studio commercials. Twisted Metal. It would be like Sweet Tooth would be driving that fucking ice cream truck, and then it would be like a shitty ice cream truck, and it would be like, that's a little baby ice cream truck. You want to play that fucking Nintendo shit, or you want to play some real manly shit? Oh man. It's like, so basically every advertising exec took the Marty McFly way of advertising. It's like, just call him a pussy and then maybe they'll buy it. You know what commercials I absolutely hated the most, like every time they came on, was the fucking Crash Bandicoot commercials. Because they always had that guy in the Crash Bandicoot suit, and he'd be like delivering pizzas or some shit. I'm like, god damn, this is fucking lame. Made me hate the game. I'm like, you know what? I'm not playing Crash Bandicoot just because I hate your commercial. Then there was those Nintendo commercials, like the ones where it was like, it would be in black and white or some shit, you know, and it'd be like, oh no wait, I think Sega did it because the Game Boy was black and white and the Game Gear was color. Yeah, I remember that. It's like they would always insult people that worked like mundane, average jobs like mailman or school bus driver. Jet Moto was cool though, you gotta admit. Shit, I think I used to have that PlayStation Underground disc that you would get at like PlayStation Magazine, or it would come with certain games or some shit. Look, he's sending up reinforcements. I think that's what he's doing. He's got reserves up here. I actually won the right flank. Well, Twisted Metal 2 has a secret jet moto level that can only be played in multiplayer. It also had some levels from Twisted Metal 1, but you had to use a code to unlock it. Like the highway level. But Twisted Metal 2 makes Twisted Metal 1 look like dog shit. Twisted Metal 1 is basically like Quarantine. All the maps are really flat. There's a couple of ramps and stuff. And then Twisted Metal 2, it's like we got fucking hills, we got the Eiffel Tower, we got the New York rooftops. Like, you look at that first level in Hollywood, you got this, like, awesome, like NASCAR type track on the outside, and you got, like, these lightning kind of areas on the inside, and destructible environments. Like, you could blow up the Hollywood sign and shit. That was when a sequel would come out, and it would make the first game completely obsolete. Like, there was no reason to play the first game at all. Like Diablo 2. There's no reason to play Diablo 1 after Diablo 2 came out. No fucking reason. Black was the best. You know what? That's the one I played the least, but one that's really cool is there's a sequel to Twisted Metal 2, and that's the one for the PSP. That one's badass. I'm gonna move up the artillery. Alright, this cavalry is no longer broken, but I don't need them. I'd rather use the infantry. They're breaking over here. We got them on the flank. I'm gonna see if I can get Jackson to cross. Oh, that was fucking terrible. Like, I heard, like, the PS3 Twisted Metal, because you only had 3 characters, but you could change cars, and it's like Twisted Metal is basically a car fighting game. Like, you shouldn't be able to switch cars or anything. It's like, the character you play as has a specific fucking car. That's what they use. It's a shame. Twisted Metal was such a good franchise. I always felt like it could be more than it was. But it's like Sony just did not care. I had to pick a faction then. So yeah, so then the car is not even part of the personality. That's what was cool. You pick like Outlaw, you know, it'd be a cop. It'd either be like, you know, the dude or the chick. Or like Sweet Tooth with the fucking ice cream truck. Dropped the ball on that one on PS3 Twisted Metal. Like Dolls, Mr. Grimm, and Sweet Tooth factions? I don't know, like, I guess maybe the damage modeling was better, but that's not why people play Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal is supposed to be like arcade car combat action. The car combat genre died, too, which sucks, because, I mean, like, I feel like that genre could use a revival. Maybe some indie game can like, do something with it. Like a spiritual successor to Twisted Metal. They had some skill shot weapons that was fun, like Mr. Grimm, you could charge up his soul special. Mr. Grimm was so awesome in Twisted Metal 2 because he was the glass cannon. His special did so much damage, but like, and he was so fast, but like, if you hit him, you could basically kill him with like one big attack. Like Thumper, with his flamethrower, could just kill Mr. Grimm in one hit. Mr. Slam, he could fucking destroy Mr. Grimm as well. Some characters, I mean, like, Twisted Metal 2 wasn't the most balanced. Some characters I feel were just completely worthless, like, Grasshopper and Twister. I just feel like they suck. Their specials are terrible. Twister's special, especially because it hurts her when she does it. Because, like, if you use her tornado attack and you, like, get, like, one of the bigger cards, like Minion or Hammerhead, it would do damage to her, and it's like, what the fuck? Why not make her invincible when she's doing the Twister? What the shit? Though, that being said, though, the way you would play Twister is you would just have her go all the way around the map, getting as many of the items as possible, because she would always get the health and always get the ricochet bombs and stuff. Mr. Patriot, he was like the beginner class, because he had good armor, he had a homing attack special, it charged up fairly fast. Spectre is like bullshit. You could just hide in certain areas and use his projectiles that home in and go through walls. Those are the days when games weren't really about balance, just about being fun. Though I feel like if I did play Twisted Metal 2 online now, I'd be like super pissed. I'd be like, wow, man, you fucking picked Minion, really? Like, Minion's banned. Come on, don't pick Minion. And it's like, nah, it's cool. It's like, oh, come on, man, don't pick Minion. Fuck. Like, my tier list for that game, I would say, like, the best non-Minion car would have to be... I prefer Outlaw. I think Outlaw is pretty powerful. But I also think Thumper is pretty high level. Like, if you hit him with the napalm, like, you freeze him, hit him with the napalm and the flamethrower, you can almost kill any car. I'm winning this fight, can you believe that? Well, actually, no, I'm losing this fight according to this shit, but I'm gaining ground. I think the reason I'm losing is I don't have the points. Mr. Grimm was definitely upper tier. His special charged so fast. He could have like 5 specials. Went with Roadkill. Roadkill I always thought was mid-tier because Roadkill's special does 3 times more damage because it was a boomerang. So you'd want to get the return attack. That would do 3 times the damage. But it was hard to use. Like, it was hard to time that like back attack, right? That's why I liked Outlaw. Outlaw, like that was my jam. I'd pick Outlaw, I'd just fucking do hit and runs with her. Because she would lift up the enemy car with her taser, which would fuck up their aim, and then you would drive past them. It was like it would auto-hook to them. And then you would do a quick turn and then fuck them up with whatever missiles or shit you had. Hammerhead, I think, is a shit character, like the monster truck. I think that one sucks. His special is he rams you, whoop-de-doo. And it's one of those specials that does damage to him as well. Like, if he tries to ram a car that's bigger than him, like Minion or Mr. Slam, he would take damage. So it'd be like, well, that's a fucking useless special. So I rank Hammerhead on the lowest of the tier list. Along with, like, Twister's better than Hammerhead. Mr. Slam, I put him up on top, especially if it's like the New York map, because you could grab him with his bulldozer thing, and you could just drive the guys like off the map and throw them off the skyscrapers. Axel, the dude that was stuck in the wheels, I think he's like mid-tier. He's okay, not great, but not terrible either. Like, I'd pick him over Hammerhead. I think Spectre's projectiles do more damage the longer they travel, and they go through walls, too. So, what you would do with him, like especially the New York level, you would drive to where there was a swimming pool, and you would just hang out there and just shoot projectiles through the wall. You would find a place in every level where you could hide and just keep shooting your special. Like Grasshopper, she kind of blows. Unlike Twister, at least Twister, she has like the speed. Grasshopper has nothing. Like, she's got this really crap special that's a jump. Which, yeah, I guess in the, like, the Paris level you can get on the rooftops quicker, but at the same time, it's not that big of an advantage. Yeah, Sweet Tooth's missiles are like that. Sweet Tooth, I think, is like upper mid-tier. Because he's got good armor, he's got, like, powerful specials with the acid ice cream cones. The only thing he lacks is his fucking handling is terrible. He'd tip over all the time. And his speed sucked. And we're not even gonna count Minion, because Minion is obviously S-tier, overpowered bullshit. He's got great speed, great armor, and his special freezes you and does a ton of damage. So he's not even remotely fair. I don't think you could do mirror matches, because that's the only, like, honestly, when I was a kid, you know, and of course this was when multiplayer was like local. So, you know, if your friend picked Minion, you just put down the controller and say, fuck off, man, I'm not playing. No, fuck you, I'm not playing, you're playing Minion, fuck that. I refuse. That's like Street Fighter Third Strike on the Dreamcast when you could play as Gil. As soon as the other guy picks Gil, it's like, well, I guess I'm playing as Gil because that's the only fucking way we're gonna have a fair match. You hate mirror matches to this day? They are kind of dull, aren't they? I mean, I enjoy mirror matches when I'm playing mirror matches, but I will admit that they are the ones I don't like the most in Street Fighter. Like, I don't like Ryu versus Ryu. Like the same as me. Could be worse though. It could be like Street Fighter 2 where you couldn't even do mirror matches. So you'd be like, depending on which character you wanted to play as, you'd have to pick that side. You know, so if you were like player 2 and the character select screen and they were on the right, you wanted to get there fast. This happened in Mortal Kombat a lot. Like, you know, if you wanted to pick Sonya, who's the best fucking character, you had to make sure you were like player 1 because she's on the left, I believe. So then you could get there really fast to get her. And anyone who doesn't think Sonya's the best character does not know about Sonya's bullshit scissor kick tricks. Because she's pretty much invincible. If she can scissor kick like Liu Kang out of his flying kick, or Johnny Cage out of his shadow kick, it creates a glitch. Where pretty much it makes it so you can't block her scissor kick anymore. So you could just infinitely scissor kick them. So in other words, you scissor kick them, and then, you know, they get up, and you do the animation of the scissor kick. Even if they're blocking, they'll get hit. And you can just repeat this over and over and over again, and you'll win. That's what made her S tier. And they probably had trouble programming that, which is why she's not in Mortal Kombat 2. Oddly enough, though, Sonya Blade and Kano were the least played characters according to Midway. That's why they didn't put them in Mortal Kombat 2. But I feel like that was the bullshit excuse they gave. I think the real reason was they couldn't balance her fucking scissor kick. What the hell is the Union doing? Throws and grapples are always glitchy. Like, you ever see that Zangief glitch from like Rainbow Street Fighter where he can like pile drive you through the screen? Like, he does a pile drive. Oh, the E-Honda throw. Yeah, he's got that tick throw that's unblockable. In normal Street Fighter, like Super Turbo, if he gets you with that fucking command throw, you're fucked. And Geef, his command throw is also unblockable. Though, he has to get close. But yeah, the best glitch is when fucking Geef would just like pile drive you, go through the floor, show up on the ceiling and do it like twice, and then bam! That was awesome. Another good one was Guile in Championship Edition. If you got someone on the left side of the screen, you could do a combo and you would dizzy them, and then you could infinitely dizzy them, so it was like an instant win. Alright, it looks like they're gonna lose their artillery over there. I gotta start moving up more infantry. I believe I'm winning, even though this bar says I'm losing. But the bar is counting the points, you know, that they're getting from the land. But I'm actually pushing them back. They're trying to really stop me from crossing this river. If I can cross this river and get their defensive positions, and they attack me like they try to counterattack me, I've won. And it looks like that's what they're doing. Though it's still gonna be, it's gonna be close, I gotta say. But then again, I was outnumbered 2-1. Balrog has a really awful tick throw setup too. I think I've encountered that, though. I always play Ryu, so Balrog was like, I gotta bait him to do his stupid punch so I can do my uppercut. And back in the day when I was semi-decent at fighting games. Wait, what is this one? Is this a howitzer? Yeah, that's a howitzer. Yeah, see, now I have their defensive positions, and now they're attacking me. They're attacking into their own defense. Oh, hey, these guys have no cannons, huh? They're just kind of just oh, no, they're the detachment. Why the fuck don't they get the cannons? These cannons over here, get the enemy cannons, damn it. Yeah, they're out in the open. They're getting hit by my artillery. No one to really blame if you lose. That's true. I mean, you could always point tier list. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you still have to be kind of good. Though some matchups are nearly fucking impossible. That's why in Super Turbo, you couldn't really just do one character. You had to have like 3 or 4 characters in your pocket. Because just certain matchups, like E Honda versus DJ is a bad one. Old Sagat against anyone that isn't like, you know, old Ken kind of sucks. Cammy or Fei Long. That covers some bases, even though Cammy is kind of a low tier character, but she's got great walk speed. That's her deal. She can just walk up throw. Like if you got the courage, just walk up throw and see what happens. And then you gotta do like those feints with the drill kick to get them to do their uppercuts. You gotta do the light kick, drill kick. Use some of the harder characters. There you go. Also, unless you're playing for money, there's really no reason to pick the high tier characters anyways. Though I do think Super Turbo is the most balanced of them all, just because every character can do a shitload of damage really fast. So every character has their own bullshit. Whereas, like, even though I like Third Strike, the tier list is too good. Like, Chun-Li is too fucking good. Yoon is too fucking good. And then like, the bottom of the tier list in that game, like, Sean is so awful. Like, unbelievably awful that it's like, you'd never want to use him. Let's get out of cover because we don't have the oh shit. But then again, we are hurting pretty bad. I don't know if I should press this attack, but at the same time, I want him to break. How bad are these guys? Oh, they're fine. They can take more casualties. They don't seem to mind. These guys, they're close to breaking. Jackson apparently just doesn't want to do shit. He just wants to stand around. I mean, I know he can outrange it, but like, come on, man, get up there. Fuck, we can win this if you just fucking moved. Who are these guys? Have they suffered? Okay, these guys are fresh. We can bring them up too. We need to bring up some of the fresh guys, and we need to start really hitting the Union. Because we got the flank on these guys in the open. We need to press that. You always hate playing against Guile. Guile has that awesome backhand. What sucks about Street Fighter, the movie, the game, is they didn't even bother to try to get Jean-Claude Van Damme to do that weird kick that Guile does. You know, the one where he launches off the floor, and it's like a triangle kick. Like, damn, you couldn't get him to do that? You couldn't even get him to get wires and do that? That would have been amazing. To even see that attempted. Oh yeah, they're in the crouch, and then a good Guile player, you know what they'll do? They'll use their light kick to move forward because he does a knee. So they can crouch, but they can use light kick to actually move forward while charging their flash kick and their a sonic boom. And then if they get close, they'll fucking backhand you and then do a sonic boom. That's a 2-hit, and it does tons of damage. Oh yeah, that fucking Guile uppercut that he does. Guile's a good character. He's very strong. How bad are these? Okay, these guys are the fresh guys. Alright, cool. Jackson's also fresh, but he refuses to really get close to the enemy. If he fucking went over here, he wouldn't even have to shoot and cover. He would get him on the flank, but he chooses not to. He just wants to fight him there. I gotta start moving up my artillery. Maybe these guys can capture this. Like, the fucked up thing is we're winning. Like, I'm winning. It's just that, like, he has the points. So... But then again, if I can break his army and have him run away, then I win. So ideally, if I can break this right side, I can flank my army over here and we can hit him. Alright. Get these guns closer, we need to push them out of here. If I can get him to break. I mean, I know he's got reserves, because I saw him up here, but... Then again, I think he brought up his reserves. I think this is his reserve, so if I can beat this... Then it should be easy to win. I should have split my cav, though. I should have sent some scouts to go capture that other point. I guess it's not too late, right? Here we go, scouts. Alright, these are the scouts, 150, so I'm just gonna send them over here to capture the point. That way we can start, like, winning this battle instead of, like, slightly losing it, because for every second they get more victory points. His melee's strong, you know what? Like, I gotta babysit the shit out of him. The cavalry's moving up. Oh wait, no, that's the scouts. Where's the main regiment? There they are. Wait, why are the scouts so fucking huge? What the fuck? I might have to change the mod again. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't program this, or not program, but I didn't, like, change the value of the scouts to be that fucking huge. It's interesting, though, the AI does seem to be able to fight, like, it's able to form its lines and do shit, even with, the unit sizes being, like, about 30% bigger, so that's kind of neat. Like, it's doing a way better job than, say, Total War would do. Really, Jackson, you ran away? Fuck. Yeah, we've lost. I might have to call a retreat. This battle's over. We've lost this battle. Yep. I got 40 minutes. I'm just gonna fast forward. Well, that sucked. I don't know. You think I should change it back to the normal unit scale? I think I'll do that, but I think I'll also turn off the unit scaling for big battles. I'll do that after the stream, though. But it was kind of cool to see, like, these brigades be this big. But yeah, maybe I should wait for the developer to be done with the game. You know, because they're still updating this game and still making shit for it, like the 3D units and stuff. The next big update is going to be AI. So maybe I should wait for that before I start modding their game. Look at that! I killed more of them! I killed 1,000 more! Okay, actually, no. It looks like I suffered... Okay, never mind. It was actually pretty equal. About 4,000, 4,000. This reenactor. Oh, this is new, right? Like, I don't remember this video. Hey, look, Gingivitis, it's your ancestor. Yeah, it doesn't seem to affect performance too much, because I think the real reason why the developers don't want to make the brigades that big is because of performance, right? But it's like, I got like 32 gigs of RAM, so I can handle shit like that. Holy fuck, I haven't heard back from anyone that I asked for a ride from. I really hate that too. That means I gotta ask people if I can borrow their car or for a ride, and it's like no one ever helps me out with that shit. And I got no family. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any brothers or sisters or anyone that lives by me, so it's like, I just gotta fucking beg for a ride to get to work. Can you believe that? You'd still rather see it as close to the real scale as possible. That's true, and like, on an RTS, frame rate's not that important. You don't get along with any of them, right? Yeah. Like, fuck. And you got... What sucks is I hate asking people for help. You know what I mean? Like, I hate being in that position. Even though I'll get my car fixed next week. You know what I mean? But... Alright, well, we lost that battle. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna call this the stream save. That way I can remember it. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I've been streaming for what, 4 hours? I think I'll take a break. I might go to bed. It looks like I might have to go ask my neighbors. That might be what I'm gonna have to do. I might stream later, we'll see. If I don't go to work tonight, I guess I'll do a stream. Though it would suck if I didn't go to work, because I kind of blows. But it is what it is. But thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. And hopefully I see you guys next time on the Ultra Show. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And yeah. And Merry Christmas to you, Ball Busting Babe. Alright, I'm gonna just get some rest.